Imanium, which means to stand. Oh, Salaki. Or jump the head. La Yashala. Amadium, which means to stand. Or Panyakwadum, which means turn and face the east. Sar, the east is this way if you were in class. We're going to be starting off with the Lord's name in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shamga, Yahweh, Malabaka, Daba'a, Ratazaka, Haya, Aisha, Baharatazah, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nadananawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalachlanawa, Kawa Wapnawa, Kasalachanawa, Kawa Wapyanawa, Wala'a, Tabayanawa, Manasayawan, Abal, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa'ala, Wahab, the Parab, the Ibalamium, Aman. In English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever, so be it. Hakak, the power in the Hebrew, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, Baba Kasha, the thunder now, Hakak, Hakak, La Pa'a, Kal Makala, Wakal Marawa, Hakak, La Tahar, Hamatazariah, Hakak, La Hakim, Hamakim, Hakak, Awakawa, the Tamala, the Garshan, by Hashem Yahushua, the Wada Aman, in English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushua, thank you. So be it. The prayer to bless Israel in the Hebrew, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, Barak Lanawa, Wayasha'Allah, Waha, Bayaf Saparim, Barak, Rapah, Magan, Hagan, by Hashem Yahushua, the Wada Aman. What we just said was Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones. In the name of Yahushua, thank you. So be it. This is Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Al-Haharyam, Mayan, Yaba'a, Isaiah, Ma'ayin, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Waharatazah, Al-Yadan, Lamawat, Regalka, Al-Yanawam, Shemarika, Hana, La'a, Yanawam, La'a, Yayashan, Shabamar, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Shemarika, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yamyaka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'a, Yakayaka, Wayara, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarika, Makal Rai, Yashamar, Afnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazaaka, Waboaka, Maida, Wa'ai, Awalam, Aman. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills, from whence cometh my help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. So be it. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, Al-Dami Al-Akha, Al-Fakarash, Al-Shakwat, Al-Kayahana, Al-Wayabika, Yahama Yawan, Wamashanaka, Nashawa, Rahash, Al-Imaka, Yarayama, Sawad, Wayatayai Tazawa, Al-Tazap Pawanyaka, Omawa, Lakawa, Wanakakira, Magoya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham Yashala, Iwai, Kaya, Nawai Tazawa, La Bikhabwa, Alya Kabarya Yakarafwa, Ahalya Harawam, Wayashima Mawaba, Wahagoyam, Gabal, Waimawan, Wamalat, Halashap, I'm Yashabia, Tazawar, Gamashawar, Nalawa, Haimam, Hayawa, Zorawai, Labanya Lawat, Salai, Shala, Hum, Kamadim, Kasayasa, Kayabian, Monachal, Hoyashwan, Neshamadu, Bayanda Ra, Hayo, Gaman La Dama, Shayatama, Nadiaba, Kaira, Wakazaba, Wakazaba, Wakazazalmanai, Call Nasaya Kumba, Ashar, Amawai, Naya Rashala, Nawa, Nawa, Alahaya, Alahaya, Salaka, Alahaya, Alahaya, Shayatama, Kagaga, Kakwash, La Panyabaka, Kaash, Tabari Ira, Wakalahaba, Dalahat, Haryam, Khan, Daradapa, Masaharika, Wabastowa Paka, Dabahalom, Bala, Panyahom, Kwalawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shamga, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Wayabawa, Adi, Wayakaparawa, Wayabadwa, Wayadaiwa, Kaya, Da Shamga, Yahawa, Labadga, Al Yawan, Al Kaha, Rataza, Haman. In the English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asa also is joined with them. They have hope of the children of Lot, Salah, do unto them, as unto the Midianites, as to Seir, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kasan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a red, and like a Zed. Yea, all the princes as Zabah, and as Zamona, who said, Let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded, and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame, and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. So be it. Sar, which means to turn. Yeshabia, which means to be seated. Give me 1 second. Let me grab me a water. Salakia. We're going to be picking up where we left off last week. We're in the book of Exodus. The book of Exodus, chapter 4, starting in verse 17 in the Hebrew. Salakia. All right. So this is the book of Exodus, chapter 4, Salakia, verse 17 in the Hebrew. Wa'af, Hamata, Hazah, the Kwak, Baya, Dak, Ashar, the Aisha, Bawa, Af, Ha, Verse 18. Wayalak, Masha, Wayashab, Al, Yadar, Khafnawa, Wayamar, Lawa, Al Yaka, Na'a, Washa, Waba, Al, Ahya, Ashar, Ba Taza, Ba Slaki, Ba Matazarium, Wara, Ha'ai Wadam, Kayayum, Wayamar, Yatarawa, Lama Sha, Lasha, Lawam. And peace, La Shalom. Verse 19. Wayamar, Yahweh, Al, Masha, Bama, Bamadyawa, Lak, Shab, Matazarium, Kaya, Matawa, Kal, Ha, Nash, Yum, Hama, Bak, Bakshyum, Bak, Yashyum, Ah, Napashak. Verse 20. Wayakwak, Masha, Ashafwa, Wa'af, Banyawa, Wayarak, Bam, Al, Hakamar, Wayashab, Asharat, Arataza, Matazarian, Wayaquak, Masha'a, Mata, Ha'ala, Halahaya, Mayadwa. Verse 21, Wayamar, Yahweh, Al, Masha, Balakathat, Lashawa, Matazaria, Ra'a, Kal, Hama, Pathium, Ashar, Shamathium, Bayadat, Wa Yatham, Lapanya, Parai, Wa Anya, Yazak, Labawa, Wala'a, Yashalah, Ha'ain. Verse 22, Wa Marah, Al, Parai, Ka, Amar, Yahweh, Banya, Makaria, Yashala. Verse 23, Wa Amar, Ayat, Shalach, Banya, Waya, Ibadya, Wathama'an, Lashalachwa, Hana, Anakia, Harag, Banat, Bakarak. All right. So we're going back to Exodus chapter 4, verse 17 in the English. And thou shalt take this rod in thy hand, wherewith thou shalt do signs. Verse 18, and Moses went and returned to Jethro, his father-in-law, and said unto him, let me go, I pray thee, and return unto my brethren which are in Egypt, and see whether they be yet alive. And Jethro said to Moses, go in peace. In peace, like shalom, Salakia. Verse 19, and the Most High said unto Moses in Midian, go, return into Egypt, for all the men are dead, which sought thy life. Verse 20, and Moses took his wife and his sons, and set them upon an ass, and he returned to the land of Egypt, and Moses took the rod of the Most High in his hand. Verse 21, and the Most High said unto Moses, when thou goest to return into Egypt, see that thou do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in thy hand, but I will harden his heart, that he shall not let the people go. Now, this is an important part of Moses going back into Egypt and Pharaoh not letting the people go. The Lord said he was going to harden his heart, meaning Pharaoh was going to have the spirit of rebellion, of not cooperating. He didn't want to cooperate when Moses said, let the people go. And it didn't have anything to do with Pharaoh at all. You know what I mean? It's had everything to do with glorifying the Most High God. So don't think that Pharaoh played a major role in the glorification of the Most High God. He didn't. He didn't. This was all to show the nation of Israel who their power was. Because you got to imagine, if Moses is going into Egypt doing all these wonders in front of Pharaoh, and Pharaoh's still like, hell no, I ain't letting the people go. I'm not letting the people go, hell no. And you doing all these wonders, that you got to think as a person, as an individual in Egypt, ready to be free, ready to be, come up out of oppression. You got to be like, damn, this cat Pharaoh is never going to let us go. We're never going to get justice. The Most High God, I mean, I see what Moses is doing, but Pharaoh, somewhat is on his pedestal, because he's the king and the leader of the most powerful nation at that time. So you got to think Moses was coming up against Pharaoh himself for the sake of the nation of Israel, powered by the Most High God. You understand? Powered by the Most High God. So keep that in mind. Moses was facing a lot, and I believe I said this last week. He was a wanted man. He was a fugitive. He was wanted for unaliving another Egyptian, a Egyptian. So he fled from the land. So he's a wanted man in Egypt. He's by himself going against the most powerful kingdom at that time. I mean, from the outside looking in, or a person who is faithless, it looks like Moses is on a mission impossible, a mission that'll never be done, going back to Egypt, freeing the Most High God's people, man. You understand? Let's keep reading. Verse 22, and thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus said the Most High, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. Now, Israel is my son, even my firstborn, because the Most High God, once again, he chose Israel, blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians to be his special people that are upon the face of the earth. Above all people, does that sound familiar? Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. He didn't choose any other nation. He didn't choose the so-called white man. He didn't choose the Africans. He didn't choose the Asians, the Malaysians. He didn't choose any of that heathen. No, he didn't choose no heathen. And what makes a heathen? A person not chosen by the Most High God. So we're his firstborn. We're the people that he chose, right? Verse 23, and I say unto thee, let my son go, that he may serve me. And if thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn. Now that's justice. That's justice right here in the Bible. The Lord told Pharaoh to let his son go, meaning the nation of Israel. Is a metaphor. And he said, if you don't let my son come back so they can serve me, their master, their power, their father, their Elohim, guess what? I'm going to destroy your firstborn. And this is why when you ask a so-called white person what should happen to America because of slavery, they will never give you a direct answer, because the only way it can be just is if the slave masters' sons pay for what their forefathers did to our ancestors. You understand? Those children in Israel that were young, they wasn't the ones that had the Egyptians in captivity. Just like here in America, these oppressors that are currently running America, they didn't physically themselves have us in captivity, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, but guess what? They benefited the reward of the oppression of our backs. So that's going to be justice if they don't listen to Commander Juliana, just like Pharaoh wouldn't listen to Moses. You understand? Let the people go. Do to whatever. Well, it's too late for the oppressors, but I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, if Commander Juliana could talk to Donald Trump, like, look, let our people go. Give us the things we need to go build our own nation, and give us everything we need. Supply us with everything we need. Donald Trump would say absolutely not, because this is going to hurt the American economy. So just like Pharaoh's heart was hardened, so was America's at one point in time. Well, hell, America's heart is still hardened. We still have their last name. We still have a slave master's last name. You understand? So the Most High God said he's going to harden Pharaoh's heart. And if Pharaoh doesn't let the people go, guess what? He's going to destroy his sons. And Pharaoh said, whatever the hell, I guess he said, whatever, you're just going to have to destroy my sons. Or he didn't believe what Moses was saying. However, his heart was hardened, and he refused to listen to the words of Moses. You understand? Get a Lord a hand for that. We're going to go to the next 7 in the Hebrew. All right. This is Exodus chapter 4, verse 24 in the Hebrew. Wayahaya Barak Bama Lawan Waya Pa Aishahoa Yahweh Waya Bakwash Hamyathwa. Verse 25. Watha Kwak Tazara Watha Kara Irala Bana Watha Guy Lara Galyawa Watha Amar Kayat Kathan Damyam Atha Laya. "26. Waya Ra Mama Nawa Az Amara Khathan Damyam Lamawa La." 27. Waya Mar Yahweh Al Aharan La Lakwa Ra'ath Masha Hamadara. 28. Wayagad Masha La Haran Kal Dabaria Yahweh Ashar Shalakwa Kal Ha'ada Ashar Tazawahawa. Verse 29. Wa'alak, Masha, Haran, Asakwa, Kal, Zakwanya, Banya, Yashala. Verse 30. Wa'yadabar, Haran, Kal, Hadabarium, Ashar, Dabar, Yahweh, Al, Masha, Waya Aish, Ha'atha, La'ai Yanya, Ha'ain. All right, back to the English. This is Exodus chapter 4, verse 24. And it came to pass by the way in the end that the Most High met him and sought to unalive him, sought to kill him. Verse 25. Then Zipporah took a sharp stone and it came to verse 25. Then Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son and cast it at his feet and said, surely a bloody husband art thou to me. Verse 26. So he let him go. Then she said, a bloody husband thou art, because of the circumcision. Verse 27. And the Most High said to Aaron, go in the wilderness to meet Moses. And he went and met him in the mount of the Most High and kissed him. Now, just to break down this, let me go back to verse 24. And it came to pass by the way in the end that the Most High met him and sought to kill him. So who was the person that the Most High sought to unalive? Hey, how y'all sisters doing? Shalom Yahweh Shamar Lataba Shem Yahweh Shah. The sister, I believe, Azan, and the sister Shapala. How y'all sisters doing? The water for checking in. Please like, share, subscribe. The class, the water, and Baba Kashah. So who was the Most High sought to kill? You understand? And it came to pass by the way in the end that the Most High met him and sought to unalive him. He sought to unalive Moses. Why did he sought to unalive Moses? You understand? Then Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son and cast it at his feet and said, surely a bloody husband art thou to me. Because Zipporah didn't want Moses to circumcise their son. You understand? The firstborn, well, all the sons have to be circumcised. What is it, on the third day? On the third day, I believe the boys were circumcised. That is the Israelite custom. You know what I mean? And it means that you are making an oath with the Most High God. You know what I'm saying? And then circumcision is our culture. But he was married to a Hamite. So before Moses had the law or understood the law, he was married to a heathen. His wife was a so-called African, and they didn't circumcise their children. She thought Moses was violent for taking, for wanting to cut off the foreskin off the son when he was a newborn baby, because of course it's going to hurt, and no woman wants to sit there and look at a priest removing the foreskin with a knife. The baby's crying, the baby's bleeding. So she called Moses a bloody man. You bloody man. And let this be a lesson for brothers. You can never be weak under your woman if you have work to do in this truth. You got to go to camp on Sunday. Don't be laid up with your woman, man. The Lord will be displeased with you for not doing your priestly duties, listening to a woman. It's trying to satisfy your woman. You can't be weak up under a woman. And that's why the Most High was going to destroy Moses. But he told her, look, we got to get this done. And she took it herself and did it. It was like, you bloody man, you bloody man. She was basically cussing him out, being emotional. But you can't allow your woman's emotions to make you or allow you to dictate how you're going to serve the Lord, because the Most High God will be upset with you. You understand? So that's what his wife was doing. And it came to pass by the way, and I'll read it again. And it came to pass by the way in the end that the Most High met him and sought to kill him. He's talking about Moses. Verse 25, then Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son and cast it at his feet and said, surely a bloody husband art thou to me. So, she talking her garbage. She talking her mess, getting emotional. But hey, that's our customs. Verse 26, so he let him go. Then she said, a bloody husband thou art because of the circumcision. You understand? And also, too, and that's why the Most High God doesn't want us marrying heathens, because we have two different cultures. You're going to pick the culture. If you marry a white woman, you're going to more than likely keep up or do whatever is in her culture. You're going to celebrate Christmas. Y'all going to be taking pictures together on Christmas wearing those stupid, ugly sweaters, matching. You're going to be, you know, whatever. You're going to be eating marshmallows in your sweet potatoes and raisins in your potato salad. You're going to be doing weird stuff like that when you marry some oppressor. If you marry an Asian like Young Jeezy, you're going to be eating dinner with chopsticks with your feet crossed barefoot. You're going to be eating raw meat. You're going to be, Lord knows, doing with all kind of whatever abominable act that they do. That's why it's important to marry someone of your nation and not be weak up under a woman, let alone weak up under a woman in another nation. They don't even want you to keep your customs because it offends her. You understand? Don't do that. You shouldn't do that, because the Lord was with Moses, and he sought to kill Moses because Moses wasn't listening. He was weak up under that woman, that heathen woman. Don't be like Moses. Don't do that. You understand? Verse 27. And the Lord said unto Aaron, go into the wilderness to meet Moses. And when he went and met him in the mount of God and kissed him. Verse 28. And Moses told Aaron all the words of the Lord who had sent him and all the signs which he had commanded him. Verse 29. And Moses and Aaron went and gathered together all the elders of the children of Israel. Verse 30. And Aaron spake all the words which the Most High had spoken unto Moses, and did the signs in the sight of the people. All right. Give the Lord a hand of that. Now we're going to keep moving on. We're in Exodus chapter 4, verse 31. All right. Waya Aman, Ha'ain, Waya Shemayawa, Kaya, Paquad, Yahweh, Banya Yashala, Waya Kaya, Salaki, Wakya, Ra'a, Ainyom, Waya Quadwa, Waya Shaf, Kawawa. Exodus chapter 5, verse 1. Wa'achar, Ba'wa, Masha, Wa'haran, Wa'ya Amar, Wa'al, Parai, Ka, Amar, Yahweh, Hayad, Yasha'ala, Shalak, Amya, Wa'ya Chagwa, Laya, Bama, the Slaki, Bama the Bar. Verse 2, Waya Amar, Parai, Maya, Yahweh, Ashar, Asha, Mai, Bakwawa, Lashalak, Yasha'ala, La'a, Yada Aithya, Yahweh, Wagam, Yasha'ala, La'a, Ashalak. Verse 3, Waya Amar, Ahoya, Ha'ai, Barium, Nakwa Ra'a, Al Yanawa, Nalaha, Na'a, the Bar, Slaki, the Rock, Shalasha, Yam Yam, Bama, the Bar, Wanaza, Bach, La Yahweh, Alahai Yanawa, Pan, Yaga, Slaki, La Pa, Gaanyawa, Bada Bar, Awa, Bakarab. Verse 4, Wayamar, Alaham, Malak, Matazarium, Lama, Masha, Wa'aharan, Dapar Ya'aiwa, Ha'aim, Mama Ai Shayawa, Lakawa, Lasab, Lasab, Lathyakum. Verse 5. Wayamar Parai Han Rabba Yom Aita Aim Haarataza Wahashabatham Atham Masablatham. Verse 6. Wayatazawa Parai Bayawam Hahawa'a Hana Gashyam Aim Wa'a Shataryawa La Amar. All right. Going back to the English, this is Exodus chapter 4, verse 31. And the people believed, and when they heard that the Most High had visited the children of Israel, and that he had looked upon their affliction, then they bowed their heads and worshiped. So like in my page, here we go. Exodus chapter 5, verse 1. And afterward Moses and Aaron went in, and behold, and told Pharaoh, thus said the Most High power of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness. Verse 2. And Pharaoh said, Who is the Lord, that I should obey his voice to let Israel go? So Pharaoh was being like, who is the Most High? Who is the Lord? That's not my God, that I should let these people go. I mean, who is he? What is he going to do? You understand? That's the arrogance that Pharaoh had. That's the arrogance that Donald Trump has. That's the arrogance that these heathens have, because why? They don't see any value in the Most High God's people. And when you don't see any value of the Most High God's people, you're never going to see any value in the power until he comes and make an example. Until he comes with chariots and angels, and the Most High God sends his son, Yahushua, to give justice here in America. And when he sends plagues, when he sends COVID-19, when he sends abominations, that's when they start respecting the Most High God. But they haven't put it together that the Most High God is here to serve Israel. And Israel should be serving the Most High God. You understand? You see how that works? See how that works? So yeah, man, we got to come back to our culture. We got to come back to the Most High God so he can fight these battles for us. You know what I mean? Everybody's talking about how Donald Trump is passing all these laws and doing all these things, and how he's being unjust to our northern tribe brothers and sisters, which he is. But voting and marching and trying to fight and going to the Christian church isn't going to do anything for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We have to come back to our culture. We have to serve the Lord. That's what Moses was trying to get Pharaoh to understand. Just let our people come out and go to the wilderness and serve God. Look, we can serve God right here in America. But now our brains and our minds is in chains. You know what I mean? Metaphorically speaking, our brain is in chains. Our brain is enslaved. There are so many distractions that keeps us from going to serve the Lord. Hell, you don't have to physically lock up black people anymore, Hispanics and Native Indians. We'll just go volunteer to serve other gods and don't even know it. You understand? So verse 2, and Pharaoh said, who is the Lord that I should obey his voice to let Israel go? I know not the Lord, neither will I let Israel go. You understand? He's like, I don't know that God, or I ain't letting Israel go. Verse 3, and they said, the God of the Hebrews hath met with us. Let us go, we pray thee, 3 days journey into the desert, and sacrifice unto the Lord our power, lest he fall upon us with pestilence or with the sword. So he's trying to warn this cat Pharaoh. Verse 4, and the king of Egypt said unto them, wherefore do ye, Moses and Aaron, let the people from their works, get you unto your burdens? Verse 5, and Pharaoh said, behold, the people of the land now are many, and ye make them rest from their burdens. Verse 6. And Pharaoh commanded the same day the taskmasters of the people and their officers, saying, you know what I mean? Pharaoh ain't going down without a fight at all. All right. So we going back to the Hebrew. This is Exodus chapter 5, verse 7. La'ah, ta'a sapwan, la'tat, taban, la'aim, la'laban, halabanyawam, katama, katamwal, shalashim, hum, yalakwa, wakwashashwa, lahum, taban. Verse 8. Wa'ah, matakanat, halabanyam, ashar, hum, aishayam, damwal, shalashim, dashayamwa, awya, alahayam, la'ah, dagar, Iwa, Mamanawa, Kaya, Narapyum, Hum, Al, Khan, Hum, Taza Aikyum, La Amar, Nalacha, Naza Bak, La Allah Hayanawa. All right, verse 9. Thakabad, Ha'ibada, Al, Ha'anashim, Waya Aishawa, Ba, Wa'al, Yasha'aiwa, Badabarya, Shakwar. Verse 10, Waya Tazawa, Nagashwa, Ta'aim, Washatariwa, Waya Amarwa, Al, Ha'aim, La Amar, Ka, Amar, Parai, Ayan, Naya, Nathan, Lacham, Taban. Verse 11, Atham, Lakawa, Kwakawa, Lakam, Taban, Ma'ashar, Damataza, Awa, Kaya, Ayan, Nagarai, Ma'ai, Batakam, the bar. Verse 12, Wayapai, Ha'aim, Bakal, Arataza, Matazarium, La Quashash, Quash, La Taban. Verse 13, Wahanapshium, Atazayum, La Amar, Kawa, Ma'aishyakam, the bar, Yawam, Bayawamwa, Ashar, Bahayawat, Ha, the Ban. All right. All right, now we're going to go back to the English. All right. Exodus chapter 5, verse 7 in the English. Ye shall no more give the people straw to make brick, as heretofore. Let them go and gather straw for themselves. Verse 8. And the tail of the bricks which they did make before, ye shall lay upon them. Ye shall not diminish aught thereof, for they be idle. Therefore they cry, saying, let us go and sacrifice to our God. So Pharaoh, he wanted to be a a-hole. His heart was hardened, like the Lord said he would allow. Now he's making the job or the work even harder. It's like, oh, you want to go serve your God? You complaining? You know what I mean? After everything I done did for y'all, y'all want to complain, talking about y'all want to go serve y'all God instead of serving me, Pharaoh? I'm big Pharaoh. Like, what type of time is y'all on? Look, let them go gather their own straw. Make the job even harder. They're going to make the same wages. I'm going to teach them a lesson. And that's how heathens think of us. We don't think like that towards other people. We don't think like that towards heathens. We're very just and fair people. So it's hard for us to understand as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians how people can be so cruel to us. And that's why we have all this high hope in the dream of MLK coming together, because naturally we're just the better people. We're just people. We don't want to see any harm happen to anybody. We think way better than how these heathens think. You know what I mean? We're not going to continue to oppress someone when you see them beaten down. We don't do that. We don't move like that. But heathens do. Our oppressor, the so-called white man, for sure damn do. You understand? These Africans, these Egyptians did. And that's why the Lord has to deal with them justly. You know what I mean? The Lord gonna have to, match their energy. Gonna have to match their wickedness. So yeah, Pharaoh, he just said, man, look, I ain't trying to hear all that. Y'all get to work. Y'all niggas get to work. Verse 9. Let their more work be laid upon the men, that they may labor therein, and let them not regard vain words. You understand? Verse 10, and the taskmasters of the people went out, and their officers, and they spake to the people, saying, thus said Pharaoh, I will not give you straw. So we not giving you no straw. Y'all got to go gather it yourselves. The taskmasters, Pharaoh gave the taskmasters a job of making their work even harder. You know what I mean? If you follow Commanding General Hana, if you watch many Black Watches as I have since I've been in the truth, he always makes a comparison in how Egypt and America are parallel, like how they are the same. You understand? Because we went into Egypt slaves. And the Bible prophesies that what? Are his chosen people, because of our disobedience, will go to Egypt again in ships. Deuteronomy 28 and 68. So we went into slavery again in ships, and the same thing that was happening in Egypt is happening here in America. And also, Egypt is a Greek word that means bondage. We are still currently in bondage. We are still currently in slavery. Just because we can go to work, just because you can marry white women, just because you can watch YouTube and TikTok and TV when you get off work, does not mean that you are not in bondage. You understand? They had things to do in Egypt as well. They had things to do in there. They just wasn't, working all day and didn't have anything. Now they were, but I'm just saying, they didn't look like they didn't have anything to look forward to. They had meals, they had families, they had all kinds of things. But they were still in bondage, in captivity. And the Lord heard their cries, just like he's going to hear our cries once we tighten up. And he's going to send back Yahushua, and he's going to bring justice to America, just like he brought justice to Egypt. You understand? Verse 10, and the taskmasters of the people went out, and their officers, and they spake to the people, saying, thus said Pharaoh, I will not give you straw. Verse 11, go ye, get you straw where you can find it, yet not out of your work shall be diminished. Verse 12, so the people were scattered abroad throughout all the land of Egypt to gather stubble instead of straw. Verse 13, and the taskmasters hasted them, saying, fulfill your works, your daily tasks, as when there was straw. And Pharaoh he was going hard on the people. Now just imagine this in today's time, being in the truth. When they believed Moses, they believed everything that Moses was saying, they were ready to go serve the Lord. So just remember, when you ready to serve the Lord and you understand that you need to be in the Isupk and the Commanding General, things in life don't get easier. You understand? The world hates the truth. The world hates the truth. So things in your life aren't going to get easier because you figured out that you're an Israelite. You figured out that we need to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You figured out that we have to come together and serve the Lord. Your life is going to get harder. And that's when the real test begins. That's when the real love begins. When you decide to make the decision in the oath in the Isupk to serve the Lord. Only the strong survive. Only the strong survive. You understand? So remember that. Remember that. These brothers and sisters that were in Egypt, their burdens got heavier when they found out, when they wanted to go serve the Lord. Pharaoh was coming up against them something vicious. You understand? So remember that, brothers and sisters, when you in this school coming into the truth, serving the Lord, things don't get easier. Things may get harder. And it's going to make you even harder. It's going to make you a stronger person. It's going to make you a greater and wiser person. Brother, a greater brother or sister. You understand? All right, now clap it up. We're going to go to the next 7. We're going to go to the next 7. You understand? This is Exodus chapter 5, verse 14. All right. Wayakawa, Ataria, Banya Yashala, Ashar, Shamwa, Alahom, Nagashya, Harai, Laamar, Madawai, La'a, Kalyatham, Kakwakum, Lalaban, Lalaban, Katamwal, Shalashim, Gam, Damawal, Gam, Hayawam. Verse 15. Wayaba'awa, Shataria, Banya Yashala, Wayataza, Iquaqua, all, Parai, La Amar. Hold on, what did I say? Wayataza, Iqua. Yeah, Wayataza, Iqua, all, Parai, La Amar, Lama, the Aisha, Ka, La Ibadyak. Verse 16, the Ban, Ayan, Nathan, La'ai, Badyak, Walabanyam, Amariam, Lanawa, Aishawa, Wahana, Ibadyak, Makayam, Wachat, Imak. Verse 17, Wayamar, Narapyam, Atham, Narapyam, Al, Khan, Atham, Amariam, Nalakha, Nazabak, La Yahweh. Verse 18, Wa'aida, Lakawa, Ibadwa, Wathaban, La'a, Yanathan, Lakam, Wathakan, Labanyam, Tathanawa. Verse 19, Wayara'awa, Shataria, Banya Yashala, Thum, Barai, Lamar, La'a, Tagar, Iwa, Malabanyakam, Dabar, Yawam, Bayawamwa. Verse 20, Wayapagaiwa, Masha, Wa'a, Aharan, Natazabium, Lakwa Ra'atham, Batazatham, Ma'at, Parai. All right. Now we're going to go back to the English. This is Exodus chapter 5, verse 15 in the English. Then the officers of the children of Israel came and cried unto Pharaoh, saying, Wherefore dealest thou thus with thy servants? Verse 16, There is no straw given unto thy servants. And they said to us, Make brick, and behold, thy servants are beaten. But the fault is in thy own people. Verse 17, But he said, Ye are idle. Ye are idle, therefore ye say, Let us go and do sacrifice to the Most High. Verse 18, Go therefore now and work, for there shall no straw be given you, yet shall ye deliver the tale of bricks. Verse 19, And the officers of the children of Israel did see that they were in evil case. After it was said, Ye shall not minish out from your bricks of your daily tasks. Verse 20. And they met Moses and Aaron, who stood in the way as they came forth from Pharaoh. See, here, like I said, Pharaoh was just making their life harder and harder and harder when they wanted to go serve the Lord. And he mocked the Most High God. Oh, you want to go worship some idol in the forest. You don't want to go worship. Y'all just some lazy niggas. Go and do your work. Y'all some lazy, y'all Hebrews, y'all Israelites, y'all just some lazy niggas. You understand? You need to learn how to pick yourself up by your bootstraps. That's what Pharaoh was doing to the nation of Israel because he didn't want to let the people go. He didn't want to let the people go. He didn't want to let us go serve the Lord and come back to our culture. You understand? So we're going to go back to the Hebrew. Go back to the Hebrew. This is Exodus chapter, here we go, 5 verse 21. Wa'amara Allahum Yara'ah Yahweh Al Yakum Wa'ashapat Ashar Haba Ashafam Raya Hanwa Ba'ayanya Harai Waba Ayanya I Badyawa Lata Harab Bayadam Laharag Nawa. Verse 22. Wayasha Masha Al Yahweh Wayamar Adanya Lama Haraita La'ain Hazah Lama Za Shalachaf Naya. Verse 23, Wama Az Ba'athya Al Harai Ladabar Bashamak Harai La'ain Hazah Wahatazala La'a Hatazala Aimak. This is Exodus chapter 6, verse 1. Wa'amar Yahweh al Masha Aita the Ra'ah Ashar Aisha La Parai Kaya Bayad Chazak Zakwa Yashalacham Wabayad Chazak Yagarsham Ma'aratazawa. Verse 2. Wa'yadabar Alahayim al Masha Wa'amar al Yawah Anya Yahweh. Verse 3. Wa'amar al Abaraham al Yatazakah Wa'al Yaikwa Ma'al Shadia Washamya Yahweh La'a Nawa Nawada Aikya Laham. Verse 4. Wagam Hakwa Mahya Bara Yahya Atham Lata Lahom Arataza Kanain Arataza Magar Yaham Ashar Garawa. So like Garwa Ba. This is Exodus chapter 5, verse 21 in the Hebrew. Well, I mean, it's like not in the Hebrew. We're done with the Hebrew. Back in the English. And they said unto them, the Most High look upon you and judge, because ye have made our Savior to be a horde in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of his servants, to put a sword in their hand to slay us. Verse 22. And Moses returned unto the Lord and said, Lord, wherefore hast thou so evil entreated this people? Why is it that thou hast sent me? Verse 23. For since I came to Pharaoh to speak in thy name, he have done evil to this people. Neither hast thou delivered thy people at all. So like I was saying, the Lord allowed Pharaoh's heart to be hardened. He hardened Pharaoh's heart, right? And even Moses at this point right here is doubting, like, damn, since I went and tried to free the people and I did everything that you told me to do, Lord, it seems like the conditions are getting worse for the people. You still haven't freed the people. Pharaoh is treating the people even more horribly than he was before I came into the picture, back into the picture, trying to free him. So remember what I said, when you come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. I believe that's in the book of Ecclesiastes, it's in the Apocrypha. You're going to be tempted by evil. You're going to go through evil. There are going to be all kind of things that tries to make you separate your spirit from the Most High God. The Lord wants to see your strength. The Lord wants to see if you're worthy of the sacrifice he's going to make for you. Are you going to make sacrifices for the Lord like he's willing to make for us, the nation of Israel? That's why we have to get put through these tests. That's why we have to go through the fire. That's why we have to be refined, transformed, and renewed and become new creatures. You understand? So even Moses is doubting the Lord at this point, at this time. You're like, man, damn, since I went back to Egypt, Yahweh, Salakia, Lord, but it seems like things are getting worse. And they will. But one thing we must not forget is our faith in the Lord and why we even decided to admit that we're Israelites and accept this lifestyle, because we see the bigger picture. We know things are going to get better. Everything will be all right if we keep our oath, if we keep our faith, if we continue to serve the Lord. Through all the hell that we endured, things will get better. You understand? Now we're still reading the English, Salakia. This is Exodus chapter 6, verse 1. Then the Lord said unto Moses, now shalt thou see what I will do to Pharaoh, for with a strong hand shall he let them go, and with a strong hand shall he drive them out of his land. Verse 4. And God spake unto Moses and said unto him, I am the Lord. Verse 6. Verse 3. And I appeared unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob by the name of the Most High Almighty. But my name is Jehovah, which not known to them. Verse 4. And I have also established my covenant with them to give them the land of Canaan, the land of their pilgrimage, wherein they are strangers. Now, when he said, but by my name, Jehovah, I can't remember this breakdown, Salakia. But we know Jehovah is not the Lord's name. But this is a name that they didn't know, the forefathers didn't know. But the Lord's name is Yahweh. You understand? Let me go back to verse 4. And I have also established my covenant with them to give them the land of Canaan, the land of their pilgrimage, wherein they were strangers. You understand? Okay, I was about to keep reading. That's it for this 4. For this 7. So we're going to go back to the Hebrew. This is Exodus chapter 6, verse 5. Okay, I was making sure that nobody had no questions on there. All right, Most High in Christ. Wagam, Anya, Shematya, Na'akwa, Manya, Yashala, Shar, Matazarium, Ma'ai, Bagyum, Atham, Wa'azakar, Bar Yafya. Verse 6. Lakan, Amar, Labanya, Yashala, Anya, Yahweh, Waha, Watazafya, Afakam, Mathaka, Sabalat, Matazarium, Wahatazah, Lafya, Afakam, Ma'ai Batam, Waga'al, Wagalafia, Aftakon, Bazar, Wa'ai, Nata Wayaha, Wabashapat Yom, Gedalyum. Verse 7. Wala kwakathya atakom la yala ain wahayahya lakom la alahayim waya da aitum kaya anya Yahweh alahayakum hama wataza ya atakom mathath sabalawat matazarium. Verse 8. Waha ba'athya atakom al harataza ashar nasha athya yad la afta la barham la ya tazakwa wala yaikwa wa nathya afta lakum mawa rashad anya Yahweh. Verse 9. Waya debar masha khan al banya yashala wala shemaya wa al masha makwatazara wa ma ibada shakwa slaki kwasha. Verse 10. Waya debar Yahweh al masha la amar. Verse 11. Ba'a debar al parai malak matazarium waya shalach manya yashala matazarawa. Oh, that was it. Now we're going to go back to the English. This is Exodus chapter 6, verse 6. Salakia, verse 5. And I have also heard the groaning of the children of Israel, whom the Egyptians keep in bondage, and I have remembered my covenant. Verse 6. Wherefore say unto the children of Israel, I am Yahweh, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians, and I will rid you out of their bondage, and I will redeem you with a stretched out arm and with great judgments. Verse 7. And I will take you to me for a people, and I will be to you a God, and ye shall know that I am the Most High your power, which bringeth you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians. Verse 8. And I will bring you in unto the land concerning the which I did swear to give it to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, and I will give it you for a heritage. I am the Most High. Verse 9. And Moses spake so unto the children of Israel, but they hearkened not unto Moses, for anguish of spirit and for cruel bondage. See, it's just like Christians. You know what I mean? You want to understand the Christian mind. If you don't get instant gratification like a Christian, you got to go out there and figure it out yourself. You got to have instant gratification. The Lord has to answer all your prayers like he's a genie. Otherwise, you don't believe nothing that is in the Bible. Am I lying? I talk to Christians all the time. As soon as they come across something or read something that conflicts with their belief, they believe in God, they believe in heaven, they believe in all the good things that are in the Bible. You understand? But as soon as you tell them they can't eat pork, or you tell a sister, well, sister, you can't leave your husband. You can't go and marry another man. The Lord is going to look at you like a whore. Oh, but who wrote that? Who wrote that? You talking about the same book you was just praise dancing last Sunday in? You talking about the God in the Bible, but we want instant gratification. The Most High God is not a genie. You're going to have to learn how to build some character. And building character comes with sacrifice. You have to dead the old character that you were and learn how to build the new character the Most High God wants you to be. And the way that you do that is making sacrifices so you don't continue to try to live out the old character. You understand? See, the Israelites at this time, they were coming against Moses because of all the hard work, all the rigor, all the bondage and the slavery and the beatings that the Pharaoh was giving. It seemed like life was getting worse when they wanted to come serve the Lord. That's because the Lord wanted to test Israel. He wanted to be their God, and he wanted us to be, he wanted us to be his people, and we wanted him to be our God. I said it back with Salakia. So, like I said, just remember that. This is important. You understand? Where did I leave off? And Moses spake so unto the children of Israel, but they hearkened not unto Moses for anguish of spirit and for cruel bondage. Verse 10. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, verse 11, go in, speak unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, that he let the children of Israel go out of his hand. So the children of Israel coming against Moses, they ain't listening. They not feeling him. The Most High God still wants Moses to go in front of Pharaoh and tell him to let the people go, even though Pharaoh don't want to hear nothing Moses got to say. The Lord is going to test his servants. You understand? The Lord is not a genie. The Lord moves on his own time. He moves when he's ready, not when we're ready. We just have to stay ready. I pray you understand that. You understand? Give the Lord a hand for that. And with that, I remind you, just me up here. Make sure my form is straight. La Yashala. Everyone else type Adium, which means to stand. Or Panyahakodam, which means turn and face the east. The east is this way if you're in class. Sar, which means to turn. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shema Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malabaka, Dabaa, Ratazah, Hayah, Aisha, Baharatazah, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nadalanawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Waskalachanawa, Kawa Wapnawa, Kaskalachanawa, Kawa Wapinawa, Wala, Dabayanawa, Banasayaban, Banasayawan, Abal, Awashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa'ala, Wahata Parap, Iwalamim, Aman, in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Hakat, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Baba Kashah, the thunder now. Hakat, La Pa'a, Kal Makala, Wakal Marawa, Hakat, La Tahar, Hamatazariah, Hakat, the Hakim, Hamakim, Hakat, Awakawa, the Tama'ala, the Garshan, Ba'ashem Yahushua, the Wada Aman, in English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against the unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushua, thank you. So be it. The prayer to bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Barak Lanawa, Wayashala, Waha, Bayaf Saparim, Barak, Rapah, Magan, Hagan, Ba'ashem Yahushua, the Wada Aman. What we just said was, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, bless us in Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones. In the name of Yahushua, thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha, Ayanya, Ahaharia, Mayanya Ba'a, Isaiah, Ma'an Yahweh, Aisha, Shemaiah, Waharataza, Al Yadan Lamawat, Regalka, Al Yanawam, Shamarka, Hanala, Yanawam, Wala, Yashan, Shawamar, Yashala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al Yad, Yamyaka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'a, Yakayaka, Wayara, Walayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal Rai, Yashamar, Afna Pashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazaaka, Wabaka, Maida, Wa'ai, Awalam, Aman, in the English. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills, from whence cometh my help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. So be it. This is Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, Al-Damayalacha, Al-Hakarash, Al-Hashakwa, Al-Kayahana, Al-Wayabika, Yahama Yawan, Omashanaka, Nashawa, Ra'ash, Al-Hamaka, Yarayama, Sawad, Wayatayai Tazawa, Al-Tazak Pawanyaka, Amawa, Lahawa, Unakakida, Magoya, Wala, Yazakar, Sham Yashala, Iwad, Kaya, Nawai Tazawa, La, Yakhadwa, Al Yakabar Yak Yakarakwa, Ahal Yahadawam, Wayashamaoyum, Mawaba, Wahagoyum, Gabal, Waimawan, Wamalat, Halashap, I'm Yashabia, Tazawar, Gamashawar, Nalawat, Imam, Haiwa, Zarwawai, Labanya Wat, Salai, Shah, Lahom, Kamadim, Kasayasa, Kayabi, Banakal, Koyashwan, Nashamadwa, Bayanda Ara, Haiwa, Damana, Dama, Shayatamba, Nadiaba, Wakai, Ra, Wakazaba, Wakazaba, Wakazamana, Call Nasaya Kumba, Ashar, Amawa, Nayarasha, Nawa, Nawa, Alahayim, Alahayasha Yatamba, Kagaga, Kakwash, Lapanya Baka, Kaash, Tabari Awa, Wakalahaba, Talahat, Haryam, Khan, Daradapa, Basta Araka, Wabasawa Paka, Tabahalam, Malaa, Panyaham, Kawan, Waya Bakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Waya Baawa, Ayai, Waya Kaparawa, Waya Badwa, Waya Iowa, Kaya, Shamka, Yahawa, the Baka, Al Yawan, Al Kaha, Rataza, Aman. In the English. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. But they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asa also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kasan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zeb, yea, all the princes as Zabad, and as the Muna, who said, Let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. So be it. The prayer of the blessings of the power structure in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Wa Mayaka'ala, Wa Lahaya, Matazabia, Alawap Yahana, Halawapim, Hasaranyam, Hakatazayanyam, Hakayayayam, Wa Waki Yahweh, Ba Shem Yahweh Shai, the Wada Aman. In English, bless you Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yahana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you. So be it. Sar, which means to turn. Sisters, Yeshabia, which means to be seated. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amadi, Barak, Yahba Shem Yahshah Brakathon, Yajimatah, Sar, face the sisters. Sisters, Amadim, stand. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amadim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Ladamba Shem Yahweh Yajimatah. Dismiss.